The reason we're alive is to overcome our minds. We've all heard some version of this phrase before. It's from Ryan Holiday's book, The Obstacle is the Way, and it's one of my favorite books. There are 365 ways to interpret that quote, just like there are 365 days in a year. So in today's episode, I wanted to share with you 365 ways to master your mind, kind of a different approach than normal, where I'm sharing 365 little tiny techniques. Tricks, exercises, philosophies that will help you conquer your emotions, master your thoughts and reactions, control your actions, be better at work, at relationships, at communication. Everything that we talk about here on the channel goes back to mastering your mind. I am obsessed with Stoicism. I've read almost everything written on the subject. I have a newsletter, a podcast. I've spoken all over the world about Stoicism. My hope is to pass on some of these ideas to you so you can master your mind. Okay, no one, you always have a choice, even if you don't think you do. Marcus Aurelius says not everything is in our control, but what is in our control is our reaction to things. Even if you don't feel like you have options, you always do. You always have the option to change how you respond. That's in our control. The obstacle is the way, right? There's no such thing as a bad situation, only situations that we don't know how to handle yet. If you find yourself saying things like, I have no choice, or it's impossible, stop, take a deep breath, and remind yourself that those are just thoughts. They're not facts. Think of someone who's gone through something worse than what you're going through. If they made it, you can too. No. 2, you cannot control what happens, but you can control how you react. How you respond to whatever life throws your way is what separates winners from losers. It's what separates people who get promoted from those who don't. People who get the raise versus those who don't. Successful people respond well to adversity. No. 3, everyone is watching you. The psychologist Tai Shiro once said, we tend to overestimate the stability of our own behavior and the variability of other people's behavior. What does that mean? Well, let me give an example. Imagine you walk into a room and someone is already there. Chances are you'll think to yourself, wow, that person probably thinks that I'm late, or maybe they're judging me. But what if the reality is that that person isn't thinking about you at all? They may be focused on something else entirely. Or maybe they just had a fight with their partner and they're in a really bad mood. Or maybe they're having an affair and they're worried about getting caught. The point is, chances are they aren't thinking about you nearly as much as you're thinking about them. This is a form of ego depletion. Don't waste your energy worrying about what others think. Number 4, be less concerned with others and more concerned with yourself. When you focus less on what others think of you and focus more on your goals, aspirations, and the value you want to bring to the world, you'll have far fewer problems. One of the key tenets of Stoicism is to remember that you read the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. You're careful who you surround yourself with. No. 5. Perception is reality, Epicurus said. It's not things that upset us, it's our opinions about those things. You can't control how people behave. You can't control what happens, but you can control how you choose to perceive events. Sometimes when we're faced with adversity, we tell ourselves stories about why something happened to us, about why we failed. These stories are often untrue. They're just stories that we've chosen to believe. Next time you're faced with a setback, ask yourself, what story am I telling myself about this? Because that story will determine your future. No. 6. You're responsible for your actions, but never guilty. Seneca said, all fools have their reasons. When you look back on your life, you'll realize that many of the things you did were driven by things you believed to be true at the time, even if they weren't true. In fact, even some of the best people in the world have done horrible things that they thought at the time were the right thing to do. But now we know otherwise. For example, killing Osama bin Laden was probably the right thing to do. But imagine being one of the Navy SEALs involved in that mission. You might think to yourself, if I don't do this mission, I'll be seen as a coward. I won't be accepted by my peers. I might be ridiculed by my fellow Americans. Yet the truth is that you're doing the right thing. There's nothing wrong with what you're doing. It's okay that you're afraid because what you're doing is scary. Embrace the fear. Take responsibility for your actions, but never beat yourself up over them. It's important to note that you should never feel guilty. You should never blame yourself. You should never punish yourself. If you make a mistake, learn from it and move on. No. 7. Cultivate negative emotions like you would a garden. Stoics believe that negative emotions, like anger, resentment, frustration, jealousy, greed, lust, and fear, are all like weeds in a garden. They grow quickly and choke out the good stuff. If you don't deal with them, if you allow them to take root, they will eventually destroy your whole garden. But if you pull them out quickly, if you deal with them in the moment, then your garden will thrive. No. 8. Put your phone away, Seneca said. We're always pursuing the next thing, the next big thing. But we never enjoy what we have right now because it's not new anymore. The same thing can be said about our phones. We constantly check our emails and social media accounts, but we never actually stop and enjoy our lives. Instead, we spend all our time looking at a screen. The Stoics believed that the best way to live was to be present in the moment and to appreciate what you have rather than always wanting what you do and have. Number 9, start small. When you want to make a change in your life, don't try to do too much too quickly. Instead, set small, attainable goals and build on your successes. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The man who goes after 2 rabbits catches neither." Trying to do too much at once is a recipe for failure. You're setting yourself up for disappointment. Instead, focus on one thing at a time and do it well. Number 10, accept what you cannot change. It's easy to get caught up in the things we can't control. We worry about things that are beyond our power to influence. This is a surefire way to set yourself up for unhappiness. As Epictetus said, it's not what happens that causes us pain. It's our opinions about what happens. You can't control everything. Accept this fact and focus on the things you can control. Number 11, embrace discomfort. Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Discomfort is inevitable. We can't avoid it. But the Stoics taught us that we can embrace it. In fact, we should seek it out. Why? Because it makes us stronger, it builds our resilience. It makes us more capable of handling whatever life throws our way. Number 12, practice gratitude daily. Gratitude is a powerful emotion. It helps us focus on the positive aspects of our lives. When we're grateful, we're less likely to complain. We're less likely to be envious of others. We're less likely to feel like our lives are meaningless. Number 13, every situation has a silver lining. Every situation has some sort of upside. You just have to look hard enough to find it. As Marcus Aurelius said, the glass is either half empty or half full. It's up to you to decide which perspective you want to take. Number 14, do your best and trust the process. When you put in the work, trust that you'll get the results you desire. Trust that your efforts won't go to waste. Number 15, never sacrifice your principles. Your principles are the foundation of who you are. They're what make you, you. Never compromise your principles for short-term gain, as Marcus Aurelius wrote. When you rise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. He also said, you could have been born a slave instead of being free. So when you're tempted to do something that's contrary to your principles, ask yourself, would I be willing to do this if I were a Roman emperor? If the answer is no, then don't do it. Number 16, remember that life is short. Life is fragile. It could be taken away at any moment. Remember that you don't have much time left, Seneca said. Life is short, but it's also long enough if you know how to use it. Use your time wisely. Don't waste it on things that don't matter. Number 17, be honest with yourself. Honesty is the best policy, right? It's important to be honest with others, but it's also important to be honest with yourself. You can't fool yourself into thinking that you're happy when you're sad, that you're successful when you're a failure. You can't fool yourself for long, but you can fool yourself for a while. And in the short term, it's easier to pretend that everything's fine when it's not than to deal with the pain of reality. But in the long run, it's always better to face reality head on. As Epicurus said, don't be fooled by rewards. There are no shortcuts to virtue. No. 18. Listen to others. Everyone has something to teach you. Don't be arrogant. Don't assume that you know it all. Be humble. Be open to learning from others. As Marcus Aurelius said, learn from everyone. There is no end to learning. 19. Don't expect others to understand. You can't make everyone happy. You can't make everyone understand, so don't try. Do what you want to do. Follow your heart. Don't worry about what others think. Number 20, no one will remember. Most of what we do is forgotten. Our actions fade into obscurity. So don't worry about what others think. Don't worry about what others say. Do what you need to do. Do what's right. Number 21, keep your promises. A promise is a kind of prayer to the gods that you'll be successful. If you break your promises, you're essentially telling the gods that you don't believe in yourself. Keep your promises to yourself and to others. Number 22, don't fear death. Death is inevitable. We're all going to die, so don't fear it. Don't let it control you. Instead, as Marcus Aurelius wrote, think of death whenever you do anything. Ask yourself, is this how I want to spend my last day? If the answer is no, then do something else. Number 23, don't be attached to outcomes. You can't control everything. You can't control what happens. So don't be attached to outcomes. Instead, focus on what you can control. Focus on your effort. Number 24, ask for help. Can't do everything ourselves. Sometimes we need help, so don't be afraid to ask for it, as Epictetus said. It's impossible to get what you want, but it's possible to get what you deserve. And sometimes what you deserve is help from others. Number 25, don't compare yourself to others. Comparing yourself to others is a surefire way to unhappiness. We're all at different places in life. We're all dealing with different circumstances. So don't compare yourself to others. Instead, focus on your own journey. Number 26, learn from your mistakes. Mistakes are inevitable. We're all going to make mistakes. So instead of worrying about making mistakes, learn from them. As Marcus Aurelius said, men are disturbed not by events, but by their opinions about those events. The event itself isn't bad or good. It's your interpretation of the event that determines whether it's good or bad. So learn from your mistakes and move on. Number 27, remember that you're immortal. Stoics believe that we're immortal. Not in the sense that our bodies will live forever, but in the sense that our souls are eternal. You're part of the universe. You're connected to everything that exists. Nothing can destroy you. Nothing can defeat you. Number 28, don't worry about the future. You can't control the future. You can't see into the future. So instead of worrying about it, focus on the present moment. Focus on what you can control. Number 29, learn from the past. The past is immutable. We can't change it. We can learn from it. As Marcus Aurelius said, the best revenge is to not be like them at all. Learn from history so that you don't repeat it. Number 30, the obstacle is the way. When you face obstacles, don't be afraid of them. Embrace them. As Marcus Aurelius said, the obstacle in the way becomes the way. Obstacles are opportunities for growth. They're opportunities to become stronger, so embrace them. Number 31, accept what you can't control. We can't control everything. We can't control what happens. Can't control how others act. So instead of worrying about things we can't control, focus on the things we can control. Focus on our thoughts, our actions, our reactions. Number 32, don't be afraid of being alone. Being alone isn't always a bad thing. Sometimes it's necessary. Sometimes it's the only way to find yourself. Don't be afraid of being alone. Embrace it. Number 33, don't be afraid of failure. Failure is inevitable. We're all going to fail. So instead of worrying about failing, embrace it. As Marcus Aurelius said, everything that doesn't benefit the hive doesn't benefit the bee. If you're not moving forward, if you're not growing, you're not benefiting the world. So don't be afraid of failure. Embrace it and learn from it. Number 34, understand your biases. We all have biases. We all see the world through a certain lens. So it's important to be aware of your biases. Be aware of the things that color your judgment. Number 35, remember that happiness is a choice. Happiness is a choice. It's a decision that we make every day. It's not something that happens to us. It's something we create. Number 36, don't take advice from someone you wouldn't follow. If you wouldn't follow someone's advice in your personal life, then don't take their advice on investing, relationships, career, or anything else. Only take advice from people whose opinion you respect. Number 37, remember that you're responsible for your own destiny. We have the power to shape our own destiny. We have the power to create the life we want. So don't sit around waiting for things to happen. Take control of your life and make things happen. Number 38, don't be afraid of change. Change is inevitable. We can't avoid it, but we can choose how we react to change. As Marcus Aurelius said, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. So don't be afraid of change, embrace it. Number 39, remember that you're not alone. We're all in this together. We're all facing the same challenges, so don't be afraid to reach out for help. Don't be afraid to lean on others. Number 40, don't worry about what others think. Others don't know what they're talking about. Don't worry about their opinion. Don't worry about their judgment. Do what you need to do. Number 41, always tell the truth. Lying is a form of escapism. Lying is a way of trying to control what others think. But the truth is always better. Always tell the truth. Number 42, don't be afraid of being different. Being different is what makes you special, so don't be afraid of being different. Embrace it. Number 43, remember that you're in control. You're in control of your life. You're in control of your destiny. You're in control of your happiness. So take control of your life and make the most of it. Number 44, don't be afraid to ask for what you want. Won't get what you deserve, you'll get what you ask for. So learn how to ask for what you want. Number 45, remember that you're stronger than you think. We're all stronger than we think we are. We can endure more than we think we can. So don't be afraid to push yourself. Number 46, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Mistakes are how we learn. Mistakes are how we grow. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. Embrace them. Number 47, always do your